Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile 2, Crystal Souls. Guess what I've learned from the statues of Almeria? Absolutely nothing. They are all just statues. They don't talk. We'll have to investigate the statues of Blosk whenever we get there. But first, there is another very important location nearby that we should visit. A band of exile troops approaches and inspects you. After a quick talk, they let you go on your way. But yes, that important location is, of course, the Wishing Fountain. You find a small crystalline pool. A small sign nearby reads, Wishing Pool. You see coins glittering below the surface of the pool. Throw in a few coins. You throw in some change. What do you wish for? I would like to acquire even more spells. Nothing happens. Oh well. As far as I know, that is basically the standard thing that happens every time you make a wish here. Oh, that's interesting. A giant lizard, probably escaped from someone's farm, gets close to you. Then, displaying the mindless irascibility that is the species' sole personality trait, it attacks. My dude, this is going to end very badly for you. Told ya. Well, that was strange. Anyway, we are going to the castle, but while we are here, I vaguely remember something being hidden on the south border of the cave around here. Ah, there it is. I don't remember exactly what it is, just that it's here. There is an ancient cracked obelisk here, covered with Vanatai symbols. You haven't the foggiest idea what they mean. Interesting, and this certainly wasn't here in the previous game. Yet more tiny hints that the Vanatai have occupied these caves in ages long past. Not just the lower caverns. But now, the actual point of the episode, wishing fountains aside. The way to the castle, capital of Exile, is blocked by a huge stone wall, assembled by muscle and magic. You pass through a gate in the middle, guarded by well-armed and armored troops. They're well-equipped, but their eyes betray great weariness. Things can't have been going well lately. You move quickly past. A weary band of exile troops is camped here. They greet you cordially, but distantly. Here, you meet a boisterous band of exile raiders. They welcome you in to join in their brawling and boozing. You take them up on it for a while. There are several mages and priests sitting around this fire, meditating and restoring their powers for battles to come. You decide not to bother them. More weary soldiers. And one more boisterous band. The only reasonable approach to and from the castle, now as always, is up a steep, narrow stretch of ground flanked on either side by sheer, imposing pits. You cross this bridge, approaching the mighty edifice that is the castle. Along the way, you pass several large groups of Exile's finest troops, guarding the path. Each questions and inspects you as you pass, ready to kill and die to keep a spy from entering or leaving Exile's capital. Finally, winded, you approach the end of the path. And the castle itself, with a spiffy new 3-tile graphic. Oh, hi, you are interesting, and not a guard. There is a very tall, thin woman pacing about. She carries several large parchment maps about, and occasionally stops and spreads one out on the floor to look at it. My name is Lorraine. I'm working on a bit of research. That's what I'm here for. Oh, not on magic. I'm working on something else, to take a break from all of that. I'm trying to figure out where the Sphere of Thralny ended up. Ooh. The Orb of Thralny has gone missing? It's an artifact. It enables its bearer to fly. We had it here, but it was stolen. But I think I know who the thieves were. Stolen? Oh no! She shows you the maps. They are of the caves west of Fort Remote, a ways west of here. There is a huge nest of Empire mages in there, doing research. After the orb was stolen, troops in Fort Remote thought they saw some people fly over. The mage fort southwest of Fort Remote. I would bet that's where the sphere ended up. Now if only someone would get it. I think we've just found another mission to add to our increasingly long list of stuff to get to eventually. You meet an elite soldier of Exile, burly muscles rippling back and forth under plate armor. Pat. Pat pats a huge sword hanging off a broad leather belt. Kill or die, my friend. Kill or die. Alrighty then. And what's this, a royal lizard? There is a large, torpid, pudgy iguana prowling around the halls. You cannot help but notice it has a big blue ribbon around its neck. Under the ribbon is a name tag. The lizard's name is Fred. Good solid name. It hisses and attempts to bite you on the foot. Hiss. It tries to get the ribbon off, to no avail. So do we think this is a new lizard, or did the old one just get renamed? I think it's a nice touch that the castle is surrounded by pits, and walking the perimeter we get a pretty good view of said pits. This is a silver plaque. Mage chambers. Magi clearance required. The guards stop you and point at a nearby sign. You don't have the clearance to go in there. They suggest you go see Gilda for a higher clearance. This is a gold plaque. Throne room. Royal clearance only. Things seem to have moved around a bit between now and the previous game. In fact, the castle's been pretty extensively redesigned. This is the largest barracks you've ever seen. There's enough room here for a whole regiment of King Micah's finest men. Many of the beds look unused, however. The troops are probably out on maneuvers. Hopefully not getting slaughtered by the Empire. Locked doors in the castle. I'll probably leave those be. For now. And hello, don't you look important to be off in a corner like this? You meet an awkward, vacant young man with ill-fitting, ratty robes. He wears a silver circlet. You've heard of this person. This must be the infamous Prince Shevin. I'm Shevin, Prince Shevin. I'm royal. He stands up proudly. I'm royalty. I'm the prince. You know what that means. King Micah is the king guy. I'm preparing to take his place and stuff. That means I'm helping the military. Sure you are, kid. Sure you are. Yeah, I was thinking of a whole new war-fighting strategy plan thing when you came along, for wiping out the Empire, and maybe the Vanatai, and maybe even destroying Silvar too, for good measure. He thinks. Or maybe Silvar shouldn't be destroyed. I'm still working on it. Okay, if he has anything else funny to say, I don't know what it is. And he actually manages to be a little bit funny in this game, as opposed to just pathetic in the previous. The long, winding passage ends in a short, dimly lit corridor. It's dusty. Nobody comes back here much now. A faded sign reads, Orb of Thralney. Magi Clearance only. Odd, the door is unguarded. Probably because the orb has already been stolen, and thus the room is empty. Before you is a marble pedestal. On the pedestal is a thick velvet pillow, and on the pillow is dust. This was the resting place of the Orb of Thralney, before it was stolen. Aww. And an empty bedroom. This small, dusty barracks hasn't had anyone living in it for a while. Surely nobody would mind if you sacked out here for a while. Well, we do have a couple of stats a bit lower than maximum right now. You sleep for a while. Despite the frequent nips of large bedbugs, you manage to get some good resting in. After you get up, you tidy things up a little bit for the next adventurers to come along. Preferably that includes killing the bedbugs with fire. Ugh. I had a friend who had bedbugs once, and I don't see how you can get good rest with that. And a storeroom. With no interesting secret passages. Bronze plaque reads, Royal Temple. Rather large one this time. You meet a small, delicately featured woman with a sweet smile. She wears snowy white robes and radiates a constant, unmistakable power. A gold ankh hangs from around her neck. My name is Arbonel. Welcome. I am an exile, the last exile. I came here on my own after the Empire stopped sending people down, because I realized you were on the side of justice. I fought for the Empire once. It shames me to admit it. I even sent those like you down here. But redemption is always possible, and it's never as hard as it seems. My mission is to atone. I can provide healing for you. You can also purchase spells from me, which the Empire does not want you to have. Alas, I must ask a fee for my help. Worry not. The tithe will go to the needy, and to the good fight. Woohoo! We've got only 2 spells. They are expensive, but very nice. Resurrect and Divine Thud. Both level 7 priest spells. And by the way, I did train more when up to level 7. This should be fun. Okay, this goes back up to the main levels. The plaque says, Hall of Records. Apply for clearance here. You have a hard time remembering when you've seen so much paper. Heaps, stacks, reams of it, and all covered with tightly written lists, records, and other bureaucratic wheel spinning. Hello, you seem very important. A happy woman with brown, frizzy hair sits behind the counter, blissfully shuffling forms back and forth, tabulating numbers, and doing other obscure bureaucratic things. She stands to shake your hands. I am Gilda, head record keeper. Welcome to my domain. Oh, you wouldn't find most of it very interesting. Someone has to keep all the information straight. Of course, I do have to deal with adventurers. I'm generally in charge of evaluating and rewarding security clearance. If you ever feel you've earned a new clearance, come see me. Okay, so have we earned a new clearance? Gilda lurches to the counter and summons up a flurry of paperwork. After a few minutes, she pops up from a cloud of airborne scrolls and hands you a small certificate. You are now of Magi Clearance. Congratulations! Woohoo! Oh, we've got a couple of places to go back and visit now. A set of locked doors in the castle. Well, we did just increase our clearance, right? You slip into one of the cells where Empire prisoners are brought for extra intensive questioning. Oh. Well, that's something. And this one's occupied. A thin, pale man lies rigid on the floor. A blue field engulfs him from the neck down. It doesn't take long to figure out what the field is for. It is holding him paralyzed. The man whimpers and stares at you in terror. Zed! Zed! I'll tell you what you want! He turns his head weakly around to look at you. The rest of his body is held utterly still. His voice is a terrified shriek. Please! Please! I've told you everything I know! He whimpers. I was just a foot soldier. It was join them or they kill me. They blasted the abyss. I didn't want to die. They have lots of troops, but they never told me anything. I only know their mission. Tears slide down his face. It's a pathetic sight. They're going to do to Exile what they did to the abyss. Giants, sliths, Nephil, humans, everyone. They're going to kill us all. Nothing more, nothing less. Now release me. Please let me go. Even if you wanted to, you don't know how. Yeesh, poor guy. Also, notice how he talks about Exile as us. And, join up with the Empire or be killed. I think he might be someone who was living in the Abyss and got pressed into service or, more likely, some kind of slave labor. What's one more war crime when you're already destroying villages? And towns and entire regions. This dusty room is packed ceiling high with dressed blocks of stone, cement, and other building materials. The castle is definitely ready to quickly repair any breached walls. Hello. You meet a burly, grizzled old veteran, wearing heavy, pitted chainmail. He only has one arm, but that arm holds a large barrel up on his shoulder. He grins toothily at you, not letting the barrel down from his shoulder. I'm Ackroyd. Well, I'm quartermaster for the castle, you know. I look after storerooms and stuff. 'Cause, you see, I got wounded, and they needed somewheres to stick me. Yeah, the Empire? One of their assassins nailed me. It got infected and poisoned and stuff, and it had to come off. I'm bitter, but hey, I got stuff to keep busy with, you know? Oh well. He puts the barrel down, and picks up another. His remaining arm is frighteningly well-muscled. Yeah, I look after the storerooms, and did you see one of them was empty? You could keep your stuff in there, you know? I look after it. Put it in the room with the webs in it. Okay. Simple sign reads, storeroom. This is the one. And this is another room where we can keep our extra random junk. Much like the spare room in Sylvar. And this one is just full of stuff. A bronze plaque reads, Hall of the Council. This is the chamber where the Exile Council, the mayors of the 6, now 5, great cities of exile, come to meet. It's a solemn place and slightly dusty. It would seem the council hasn't been able to come together for some time. Okay, so we need royal clearance here, but we should be able to get in here. This is a room for meditation. Mages can sit on thick rugs, surrounding a glowing, multicolored runic design on the floor. You all feel somewhat pleasantly lightheaded as you look at it, too much so to feel comfortable. A woman with long, dark hair and severe features sits staring at the sparkling runes before her. When she sees you, she smiles and motions for you to sit with her. I am Curtin. Well, this is where I come to rest. The rest of the time, I perform research on teleportation. A difficult but powerful field. Some of my work is on the shelves in the library nearby. What's more, and she beams with pride as she says it, I helped work on the portal. The portal? The portal in the Tower of Magi. It enables one to flash anywhere in exile, if they but know the right coordinates. Well, that seems like something neat that we didn't get to see last time we were in the tower. 3 three-letter words, which tell the portal where to send you. They are difficult to find, but very useful. I have found 2 interesting sets of them, for the castle and Erica's tower. The coordinates for the castle are Ain F. Wicks. That was a week of work. Finding the way to Erica's tower was an accident. We were trying to find a route to near Solberg's tower. The coordinates are on a pylon near there. Be careful not to tell people these coordinates. The portal would be dangerous in the wrong hands. So you just left those coordinates out in the open, in an admittedly hard-to-reach area, where anyone stumbling by can see them? Okay, so you'll tell me the coordinates for the castle, but not for Erica's tower. Okay. Oh, hello. What luck! Among the unpleasantly esoteric tomes and grimoires that litter these shelves, you find a good, old, practical spellbook. Pity you can't understand a word of it. Ah, nuts. Do I need more mage lore? Maybe I need more mage lore. A rune and a barrier. Can't get through the barrier. Should we unlock the door? I did just save, so technically we can do anything. The walls inside this small room are lined with lead and covered with small, intricate runes. Must be a room for summoning. Dangerous place. The ancient wizard puttering about this room has paper-thin skin and thin, wispy white hair. He seems to barely acknowledge you're here. His mind is traveling elsewhere. He mutters, "Roan," absently. He shakes his head, as if to clear it of your interruption. Mulling, just mulling. I concentrate on bringing aid to exile, magically. It is hard to concentrate, and you help not. He turns his back on you. Given that Roan is one of the key mages of exile, or at least was in years past, we'll probably have a plot-relevant reason to visit him again. Or maybe not. I don't remember this game perfectly. But for now, let us turn our sights northward, to Blosk and other points of interest. Until next time, have a good one, everybody.